Gee. Okay, we're back. No more interruptions. Okay, so we just got done eating at KFC with Misaki. We got these texts. What's up, General? Heard from a little bird and a turd that you were feeling a bit under the weather. Want to swing by Drama Club? It's a party. Figuratively speaking, of course. What? Drama Club now? I guess, technically I have nothing better to do. Another decision. Man, this game is long. Not a bad idea. So make-believe might just be what I need. Might be just what I need. Especially with Akira. I'm never sure if I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know why. It's only 5 letters. If that display on the rooftop is anything to go by. What classroom? 2C. Be there or be cupcake. Nice. 'Cause, you know, squares just so yesterday. And cupcakes are delicious. Nice. Yeah, this should make my day considerably less crappy. 2C is just as generic as 3B. In fact, the only difference with my classroom is that it's currently filled with a scattered group of students. The number seems to be fewer than when I was last here. Good day, General. I'm a general today. Wait, was I a general when she texted me? Is the text not going to show up? Ah, there it is. Oh, no I won't. I'll assume she did. Glad you decided to join us. End up smiling back. So, what's going on today? Just improv exercises. Having some fun and all that jazz. Turn that down a smidge. Our impromptu performance the other day was about as successful as the Puritan party. So, we're taking today to relax and gather our morale. So it didn't go well? I can say with 100% confidence that it was absolutely terrible. That's why the room's so empty? See that nothing escapes your eye, Mr. Holmes. Yes, many of our own number have deserted us. We are left stranded in the desert, wretched, alone. Oh, woe. Despite the dramaticism of her tone, I notice she seems to be happier. You like that there's less people, don't you? Well, that sounds so unpleasant. Rather, a small and more intimate group provides for better screen time coverage in the case that our lives are made into a show. A show? What? Think about it. Stories with large ensemble casts often purely focus on external conflict, while smaller casts allow room for individual character development and realization. That's how a lot of TV shows work, you know? That's why smaller casts are worse for if you break a bone. Just when I thought I was beginning to understand her, something like this happens. I see. Of course you do. You have 2 functioning eyes. Listen. Before I can respond to this absurdly literal statement, the club president claps her hands, gathering the attention in the room. Okay, guys, I don't think anyone else is coming. Let's get started. The group shuffles into a circle. The president's eyes land on me. Her eyes widen noticeably. Oh, Yame Shimoto, great to have you here. You remember me? Why, of course. Akira... Akira frantically makes some kind of vague gesture with her hands. The president coughs. Akira brought you here. Foreign spy, right? It wasn't that long ago. I noticed their unusual actions, but decided to ignore it. Yep. Well, you're in luck. Today, I've got some great exercises planned. You guys ready? The group, though small, lets out a hearty roar. The president slides a hat towards the middle of the room. Inside it lies a tangled mess of paper. Okay, let's do some warm-up improv. Akira, do you mind? It'd be a pleasure, Prez. She eagerly shuffles forward and snatches a random slip. Her eyes drift over the words. My character's a lawyer. Good. Tatsuya, why don't you match her? Sure thing, Prez. He also extracts the slip and snorts in disbelief. A dragon with an attachment complex to his captive princess. She wrote that one. Great. You guys know the drill. 3 minutes. Ready? Akira straightens, adjusting her jacket. The partner leaps onto the desk and curls lithely, as if he's actually a dragon. Go! Akira strides forward, whipping her finger to her partner. Hold it! Mr. Dragon, are you not aware of the severe consequences associated with kidnapping? It's a serious felony offense. Your lightest sentence will be the equivalent of 20 human years or more if you do not cooperate at once. No! You can't take her from me. She's mine. Precious. Akira slaps her hand convincingly on the table. Your Honor, the defendant. We're not in a court of law, little lawyer. Go away before I fry you to a crisp. Take that. I thought dragons were supposed to be creatures of honor. Must I challenge you to a duel? Partner gives a long, dreary sigh, as if genuinely disturbed by Akira's incessant presence. Fine. You know what, little lawyer? You want to know, little lawyer, why I refuse to forfeit my precious? Enlighten me. Simply this, little lawyer. You are playing by the code of humans. I am playing by the code of dragons. Shall I tell you what the code of dragons states? That a dragon can kidnap any poor innocent soul whenever they so please? No. In fact, little lawyer, it is prohibited for a dragon to withhold a precious maiden for more than 24 hours against her will, barring the major extenuating circumstance, which is if the place to which she must return is worse than in our possession. The room gasps slightly. Even Akira's confidence falters. She what? My dear, dear princess, precious little lawyer, was cruelly abused in her own castle. It was safer for her here than anywhere else. That can't be. Deep silence falls over the group, punctuated by the shrill tone of an alarm. The club president hastily waves her phone as the room breaks into applause. Oh. Time up. Great job, Akira, Tatsuya. It was really creative. Plot twist was a brilliant comeback, Tatsuya. It was so fun to watch. Aww. I lean closer to her. So, this is just an improv where anything goes? Actually, it's more like a battle of wits. As the improv continues, a scenario is created where each person clearly takes one side. While staying in character, they must figure out how to win the battle of wits before time is up. Doesn't seem very even. Oh no, I'm just no good at it. See, I should have said that the princess was actually Spartan. Therefore, what the dragons perceive as abusive, society perceives as normal. Damn. The kind of improv concept is very interesting. Never thought of something like that before. Okay, next. Yama, wanna give it a try? Okay. Pluck a slip of paper from the hat. Just my luck, delinquent boy. What'd you get, General? An honorable samurai, a terrific knight? Sorry to disappoint, but... Hey guys. I'm so sorry for being late. Is it... Yep. Suddenly, the door flies open and Rui comes rocketing into the room, dumping her backpack on the ground. My mind runs completely blank. Rui, she's part of the drama club. Completely forgot. Oh, perfect timing, Rui. Why don't you play opposite of Yama? You're doing battle improv. Perfect. Rui's eyes land on mine. Surprise etched clearly over her features. Guilt churns in my stomach as she shuffles away, her smile adopting a clearly awkward tint. I probably... Come on, the hat's waiting. I think I forgot something. She inches through the doorway. I wrap my fingers in my pockets, trying to stem this stifled air out of my lungs. Rui. Rui halts in her steps, staring pleadingly to Akira. Why don't you be Yama's partner? Horror spreads across Rui's face. Fierce indignation rears in my stomach. I bite my tongue to keep my words back. Why? Of all days for her to interfere, why today? Does she know what happened between Rui and me? Is this her way of exacting revenge since she got into a fight with Rui? I have to go, Akira. What? Rui? Come on. I thought we were gonna, work it out. Rui quickly scoops up her backpack and bolts from the room. Akira's face falls. Oh, it was worth a shot. What's gotten her so antsy? An uncomfortable silence descends upon the room. It's more than I can bear. I hurriedly grab my backpack, my mind still clouded with anger. Sorry, I gotta go too. Thanks for the performance, though. Wait, you too? Already? General, what? Goodbye, Akira. Barely able to keep this snap out of my voice as I rush out of the classroom. I stop only when I break into fresh air. My thoughts, now broken from their mold, are racing uncontrollably in my head. Rui, train, Shoji's death, seeing Rui, yelling at Rui, hurting Rui. I even forgot she was in the drama club. General, hold up! Akira sprints to me, face wrought with worry. Why'd you leave all of a sudden? I clench my jaw, working to keep my words civil. Akira, I need you to be honest with me. Okay. Did you also ask Rui to come to drama club today? She usually comes, but I just wanted to make sure. That's answer enough. Why did you want to make sure? Because you wanted us to meet? Well, yes. Akira, please. I've told you this before, but you need to stop meddling. Look, Rui and I fought yesterday. What just happened in the classroom, I think you might have made the scenario a whole lot worse. General, I know that you and Rui fought. Huh? The anger blossoms in my stomach. Then why did you plan this? Did you intentionally try to make us miserable? Is this because you and Rui are on bad terms? She wants you two to make up. Oh, Rui and I made up a long time ago. Well, actually, it was just yesterday. But still, this appeases me slightly. I try to withhold my accusations. So why? You need to make up with Rui, General. It wasn't there, so I don't know who was wrong and who was right. It's always best to apologize first. The words are unusually straight and simple, especially coming from her. Still, I don't appreciate how she's meddling again. Here's the thing. I don't even know if we will make up. We might just not talk to each other again. Move on with our lives. That's exactly what can't happen, General. Don't you see? You move on, you leave loose ends, and you end up with regrets that fester inside you like mozzarella cheese in an Indian summer. Even if it's painful, you need to make up. Because by the time you're ready, it's too late. She sinks into the bench. For the first time, I realize the chipper demeanor belies an exhausted face. Too late? She spends a moment in pensive silence before she speaks, and senses story behind her heavy words. General, you know Shoji? The unfortunate soul who recently died? I do. More than I wish I did. He was in my class. I take a moment to swallow this fact. Shoji had to be a part of class, of course. I just hadn't thought of such an association. I saw him, General. I knew Akane. I knew their relationship. I knew that she disappeared, and he was taking it hard. I saw all the signs, every single one. He'd joke about suicide. He wouldn't talk with anyone except his closest friend, Haru. But Haru was in a different class. He wouldn't eat, he wouldn't sleep. He even was giving his stuff away, and he was saying goodbye to everyone. It's morbidly fascinating. Even while I can sense the heavy sense of guilt in Akira's words, I find the back of my mind cataloging that Shoji was planning to die. We knew this. The incident at the train, suicide, and the bridge. Quickly catch myself. Now's not the time to think about this. I need to understand Akira. The weight associated with her guilt. It's not something she should bear in the first place. Here's a textbook example of a suicidal thinker, General, and I just ignored him. Too awkward to talk to him, too weird to approach him normally. I did nothing. Rui talked with him. She did what I should have. She did? When? No, I shouldn't be surprised. That's something she would do. Rui with her big soft heart. Heart that I brutally crushed. Akira, it just shows that his death isn't your fault. Shoji died regardless of what she said. No, General, I could have done something. If I had just talked to him, if I had just smiled once, just waved once, let him know that he mattered. He died, General. He died and it was too late. I always thought that Akira's bubbly exterior would allow all the troubles of the world to bounce right off her skin. She's taken Shoji's death harder than anyone I've seen. Pain in her voice is nearly palpable. General, that's what can't happen with Rui. Life is just too short. You don't know what the next day will bring. You could get run over by a car. Or Rui could get run over by a car. Or a nuclear bomb will hit Isamo and wipe out the entire population. It might sound stupid. You have to make up now before you have any regrets. She laces her fingers together and stares at them. So please, talk with Rui, General. Don't let the skirmish turn into a 7-year war. It's clear and open in everything not Akira, but everything Akira all at once. I know I should be empathizing with her pain. All I can think is that I'm impressed. There's much more to her, a deep heart that I never knew was there. I'll try to make up. I try to smile reassuringly. She returns it, her shoulders relaxing. Well, if you need some aid, you can always call for backup. I have a particularly dangerous concoction known as the matchmaking plan. Stop. All it requires is a nearby movie theater, a bouquet of roses. This isn't for a date. Now, who's to say it can't be? I snort at this, but it comes out a little more affectionate than I was expecting. Let's stick with a simple apology. Well, General, even if you want to be boring, I do want to help you, and I do want to give you any help I can offer. Thanks for the thought, but it's something I should do myself. It's between me and Rui, so I'll take responsibility for it, not you. Akira freezes at the statement. Did I hurt her feelings? I appreciate the offer, though. She only averts her gaze and shuffles away. It concerns me. Akira. Huh? What's wrong? Nothing. I just, That's really cool of you, General. It's very admirable. Admirable? Did I take responsibility for my own crap? Well, I don't know. Is it time for me to get going? It must be. They'll all be wondering where I am. See you, General. Thanks for stopping by. And please make up with Rui soon. Bye. Is she bipolar? She does seemingly, oftenly, and almost seemingly without reason, kinda goes back and forth. Kinda like on the carousel. Words are strange, her analogies are unthinkable, and half the time, I'm not sure we're speaking the same language, but today, I felt closer with her than most of my longtime friends. Amazingly enough, I think that we're actually starting to reach some semblance of understanding. I head back to my apartment, pondering the encounter in my mind. Little KFC man! It's still light out by the time I return. The day stretches ahead of me, full of possibilities that don't actually exist. I could study if there was any point in doing so. Could hang out with my friends if I hadn't already screwed them over somehow. I should just talk to them, honestly, and apologize. At the very least, hear their side of the story. Try to understand what exactly is going on in their minds. And yet, I don't. Even I'm not completely sure why. The only clue lies in this nagging thought in the back of my mind. Maybe it's better that they don't know you. Maybe it's better if they didn't have to blow off classes in order to find vague clues for an even vaguer case. What? Maybe it's better if they weren't forced to deal with some depressed kid who's never gotten over his sister's death. Or their lives would be easier. If that's the case, the only thing I can do for anyone, really, is to solve this case. Solve this case and stay out of the way. The key lies in my laps. Everything could change depending on what I saw last night. You're a coward. We'll see about that. I need to know why that exchange took place and what it meant. Yahiko! I break out of my train of thought, pondering my next course of action. If the doctors can be trusted... No, all I need is a strong trigger. Something that can give my brain a nice kick. Like a bloodied corpse. Right. Easy. I raise my phone, hand shaking. Nausea churns in my stomach as I bring up my browser's search engine, switching the mode to images. I can do this. For Rui, for Masato, Yahiko, Mr. Ryuta, Shigeri, for the people who died. For Mizu. You tap the screen with finality. Gruesome scenery floods my pupils, pulsing into my brain like black oil. It wraps around me, strangling the breath out of my lungs, laughing softly in my ears. It shouldn't be this easy. You shouldn't be able to do it on purpose. Too late. I struggle against it, but the empty eyes, the wash of organs and veins sends my head reeling. I vaguely feel myself turn over, retching. A lapse pushes at me, but I push back, reaching into the furthest depths of my mind. Remember. You can do it. A clear, high voice pierces through the haziness of my mind. What? I know you can do it. Is my sister? I'm dumped in the artisan primary school, where there's grass and trees and no towering monoliths of skyscrapers. It's most definitely a suburb. I'm sitting on a swing, and a tiny girl with legs that don't even reach the ground is on the swing next to me. She's a brave one. With every extension of her legs, she pushes higher and higher until she's almost horizontal with the bars. Then I realize I'm also tiny and my own legs don't reach the ground. Oh, this day, I remember it well. I remember it to the point of painstaking detail. Remember how the sun felt on my face, how the flowers sang in the wind, how the delighted shrieks of children were a soundtrack that played endlessly in the background. I remember despising it all, because no one should have been happy. Not when I had to move. Not when adults kept saying things I didn't understand, when Mizu was gone. So, when they come, just tell them, okay? The girl's cheery voice broke me out of my thoughts. I was barely swaying back and forth on the swing, a comical juxtaposition to her vivid enthusiasm. Okay? It was not okay. I was not okay. And I would not just tell him. But as a child, I very quickly learned that saying okay was the easiest thing to do. Saying okay made people happy. Saying okay made people leave you alone. This girl was an exception. As she swung down, she suddenly ground her heels into the bark mulch beneath her feet, with chips sprayed at me. I promptly leapt to my feet, yelping in indignation. Hey! The girl jumped from her swing, landing in front of me. When she stood up, her hair seemed to glow like fire in the sunlight. Promise? Crazy girl, it's probably Rui. Are we gonna get to see baby Rui? I flickered bits of bark off my elementary school uniform, nodding dully. Okay. Pinky promise? She stuck out her hand. I shoved mine in my pockets. Okay. You aren't pinky promising. Cross my heart. Hope to die? I didn't speak because I suddenly felt funny. The girl's eyes widened. Oh. Maybe you shouldn't hope to die. Your sister's already dead. She said this solemnly, and as a 7-year-old I had absolutely no concept of political correctness, so I only shrugged. Yeah. It's okay. There's lots of trampolines in heaven. Trampolines and flowers. Okay. And the girl, through with saying her piece, got back onto her swing and continued her crazy quest to the top. I only made shapes in the bark mulch with the tip of my shoe. Suddenly, the girl hunched her knees to her chest and pointed frantically in the distance. What? Hey, they're coming. Hey. I shrank against the swing. I didn't need to look where she was pointing. I already knew what lay in that direction. Come on, Yama, get up. No. You promised. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. You just promised. No, Hey, you, poophead. I stiffened my glance meekly at the newcomers. 4 older children, bigger in every dimension, with glittering eyes and smiles that were far too cheery for this time of day. Or any time of day, for that matter. You stupid poophead. Yeah, why don't you play like us? He doesn't even talk with anyone. Just stares at us with those freaky freak eyes. Like his freaky freak name. Yama. What a stupid poophead name. I looked it up. Apparently Yama means mountain. Hey, there it is. He's a mountain. Crazy girl slammed her shoes into the ground again, spraying mulch at them. They didn't even flinch. Instead, they grinned widely. Ooh, he's with a girl. Having fun with your little girlfriend, freaky freak? Ooh. I only hunched my shoulders and took the abuse. The girl, on the other hand, curled her fingers into her fists, crouching aggressively. He's not my boyfriend. We don't kiss yet. Yama and Rui sitting in a tree. I bet he got cooties from her. I don't have cooties. Yeah, don't get too close, guys. You might get some. Run away. As the girl, Rui, lunged after them, the 4 split and ran circles around her, laughing raucously. Wait. Okay, so that was the first admittance that it was actually Rui. Hey guys, I came up with a song. Yama Yama needs his mama. Freaky freak, just like a llama. Yeah, what's a llama? Doesn't matter. They slapped their hands together, laughing cruelly as I fought to keep the sting out of my eyes and throat. Okay. They said this placidly. Saying okay would make them happy. Saying okay would make them leave me alone. But just as they were about to lose interest, Rui socked one of them straight in the face with her fist, rage twitching her cherubic features. I guess cherub as in like a baby angel? Like Cupid? Her target collapsed onto the ground, sniveling, but the rest only laughed. You hit like a girl. Is that the best you can do? I am not his girlfriend. What on earth is going on here? A teacher jogged over to the scene, followed by a crowd of twittering students. Rui's eyes lit up. Thinking that help was coming, I only continued to stare at my shoes. I knew what would happen. She's gonna get in trouble for hitting one. Teacher, these 4 bullies are... Teacher, Yama hit me. Oh, really? Look at him, teacher. I think he's gonna die. Yama's not being nice. You said we should be nice, right? The flip of the switch, the bullies had transformed into a pile of sniveling little bitches. Teacher examined the scene before her, pursing her lips. The crowd awaited her judgment. Even at 7 years old, I already knew what it would be. Yama, I understand all the bad feelings you must be dealing with, but you can't hit people, okay? Infuriated, Rui jumped in front of me, yelling at the top of her lungs. They're lying, teacher! I hit him! Teacher smiled tenderly at her. Rui, I know that you're very nice and want to protect Yama, but he needs to take responsibility for his own mistakes. Yama, come with me. We need to see the principal. I'm sitting on a swing. How did I hit anybody? Okay. I silently got to my feet and passed through the crowd to her side. Still staring at my shoes. I could hear the bullies snickering in the background. But Rui grabbed at my sleeve, whispering softly but intensely. You know what? I'm gonna ask Mommy and Daddy. I'm gonna ask them how to get back at those poop heads. They'll be sorry, just you wait. She released me. The teacher led me away, a proper criminal to the execution block. I tried to forget the encounter, to strangle the hope that was rapidly rising in me. Sooner or later, she'd get tired of me. Sooner or later, she would decide to leave. Sooner or later, she would just be another face in the crowd, calling me Freaky Freak. She never did. She moved cities and started attending the academy. I followed her out, all the while expecting one day she realized she didn't have to be with a freak and she could just have any friends she wanted. And on that day, I would have moved to Isamu for nothing. That day never came. I wake blearily to a hammering, dull sound, almost like someone pounding at my door. Open up, Yama Ishimoto, I know you're in there. Come and get the door, you bloody prat. Elizabeth. I allow myself a moment to take in my surroundings. Looks like it's already nighttime. How long have I been out? Don't make me break this down. Every attack on the door drives further into my headache, making me wince. What is Elizabeth even doing in my apartment at this hour? Just quiet down for a second, okay? Pounding stops, finally. Turning on the lamp, I glance around. At some point, I'd thrown my jacket on the ground. Thankfully, there's no vomit or any other bodily discharge to be seen or smelled. Did I just fall unconscious? Did nothing else happen? I'm waiting. 5 minutes, Your Majesty. Struggle to my feet and head to the door. A sudden dizzy spell knocks me over. I barely catch myself on the kitchen counter in time, but as a result, my hand slips on a cup, sending it crashing to the ground. Ah! I wince as the harsh sound scrapes against my eardrums. Porcelain rockets to every corner of the room, skittering across the tile. Good God, what is going on in there? Dots spin in front of my vision as I struggle to the doorway. Something cuts into my foot. I roughly shake it out. Awesome, now my foot's bleeding, right? Finally, I managed to open the door. Elizabeth's dour glare promptly melts into shock. I saw it do that. Yama? Happy? I stoop to pick up the porcelain. My foot twinges with pain. Wincing, I crouch to the ground and examine my heel. Why are you bleeding? I point wordlessly to the shards of the cup. Elizabeth sighs, gingerly plucking them from the corners and dumping them into the trash. You seem to be getting into these scrapes quite often. Hey, it's not every day I break a cup. She ponders this silently. It's only then when I actually clock the time. What are you even doing here? No. How do you know where I live? She flicks the last of the shards into the trash can, then turns to me, hands on her hips. Is that really what matters right now? Look, first we need to take care of your foot. Where's your first aid kit? Why is this a... I wordlessly point to the medical cabinet in the kitchen, bottom shelf next to the stove. She crisply strides to the cabinet, pulling a pipe of antibacterial ointment and a gauze wrap. Foot. I can do it myself. I can do it better. Are you seriously turning this into a competition? It wasn't what I... Just stick out your leg. I don't have the time to argue with her. Silently extend my foot. She wets a towel and dabs it against my heel. Lucky this is just a shallow cut. There's not even any glass in it. Cool. She expertly slicks the ointment and binds the injury with the wrap. As if she's done so 1,000 times. The fluidity of her motions are almost hypnotizing. As she finishes, she suddenly speaks, her voice unusually soft. Why were you at the train station yesterday? I freeze at her words, withdrawing my foot and taking a step back. Train station? Did she see me with Rui? Was this about Shoji's death? I decided to stick with a cautious answer. Rui was planning on commuting from home, so she had to take her stuff to the train station. I was just... That's not what I meant, Yama, and you know it. Why were you at the scene where an academy student died? My mouth runs dry. I work to speak past the ache in my throat. What? Shoji Hasegawa. He died at the train station and you were there. How do you know that? Would you just tell me why were you there at that exact moment? Pressure from her words bears down on me heavily. I make my way over to the couch and take a seat. Were you there too? Yama, just answer. How do you know? Why are you always so insufferable? I might not be your best friend, but don't you trust me? Just a whit? A what? My exhaustion, my nausea, my dizziness culminates into a lump of long-ridden resentment. No. Insufferable? I'm the one who's insufferable? I was just a normal student in a normal class. I didn't cause trouble. I didn't bother anyone. Who bothered whom first? Who insulted whom first? It was the person who pretended to be my friend. I wasn't pretending. I was trying to help you. Oh yeah, you were an angel. Nagging and criticizing and micromanaging me. You should have just done my homework for me. Dude. Don't. This might be the last friend you have. Let me ask you, did I ever ask for your help? Did I ever ask you to tell me that I was trash at everything? Look, I'll admit that I made some mistakes, but I was trying to help you. Well, I thought so too until that project. Don't tell me that I'm insufferable. You're the one who started it. Elizabeth bristles visibly and grabs my shoulders. Her breath's hot against my face. A current of lavender and vanilla brushes against my cheek. What did you expect? Did you think I would baby you around? You dumped that project. You left me to do everything. You don't know how many all-nighters I had to pull just to get that bloody poster done in time. The poster isn't even what? Worth anything? It's worth a grade, Yama, and grades are money. More than that, it was the City Link project that was worth 50% of our grade. I blink in surprise at this fact. Honestly, I never checked the syllabus. The fact that one project should be worth so much is alien to me. Elizabeth quiets and releases my shoulders, sitting down on the opposite end of the couch and folding her hands in her lap. Whoa! Man, she looks really pretty. For like, maybe the first time. To you, coming to this school is just pocket change. Exactly, my parents aren't billionaires or anything. Maybe, but you can slack and you'll come back another semester. You can scrape by at the bare minimum. And just stay assured that you'll remain a student. But I need to work for it, so that I'm not a burden on my father. He's already so busy with work, the house, and with me. Education is just out of the question. She seems to shrink inwardly, looking oddly defeated. Try to work past my shock and phrase my next question delicately. Your mom doesn't send help? She's dead. Oh. Yeah, it makes it a bit difficult. Just a little. She recovers and stares me in the eye. Oh, I have a bonsai tree. You already know that I work part-time at the cafe, even while I keep up the illusion of being rich to others. The absolute best thing I can contribute is maintaining an academic scholarship at the academy. The cynical side can't help but laugh. Scholarship? Who would work so hard to come to school like the academy? But at the same time, if I'm fair, I know that it's one of the best schools around. Shows you just how much quality of education has deteriorated since the Depression. To you, Yama, it may seem like I only cared about my grade. And yes, I was controlling, and I wanted to control every aspect of the project. But it wasn't just for a nice little letter on a card. It was to keep my scholarship. If I had let things fly, I would have lost it. What? With you dropping the other end, the most I could have gotten in that course was 50 points. If that's worth half my grade, well, there goes my scholarship. I absorbed this quietly. Truthfully, I don't even know how to respond. I didn't know. I'm aware of that now. My grades are my livelihood. So is how I uphold myself about my peers, my extracurricular activities, my everything, really. A full scholarship to a school like this is nothing to sneeze at. But you're basically a slave to the school. Well, I won't deny it felt that way. A lot. But it doesn't matter, as long as I can win it back. She trails off, her eyes drifting to the distance. I nudge her. Win what? Huh? Oh, nothing. Yeah, that sure looks like nothing. Well, it's not important at the moment. What I want to know is why you were such an insufferable arse on that project. Loath as I am to admit it, you weren't completely awful until it started. Her subtle insults almost seemed to hold a teasing edge. Prompts me to reply honestly. Well, your nagging was irritating and your opinions were bad. But honestly, I didn't care that much until this one day where you mentioned my sister. Sister? seems genuinely aghast at this nugget of information. You don't remember? I didn't even know you had a sister. Oh, interesting. At the time, I thought it was a deep insult. Oh, and your sister thought so too. Well, she's dead. Oh. Bit hard. Just a bit. I'm sorry then, I didn't know. Is that why you dropped that project? Something like that? Well, it makes sense. A moment of silence falls between us as we work to process these revelations. Honestly, it feels pretty alien to share a civil conversation with Elizabeth. Up until just a week ago, we'd been at each other's throats on a nearly daily basis. This really is like Pride and Prejudice, isn't it? What? Well, I've gone so long misunderstanding you. And so have I. I guess both of us are Mr. Darcy. And Elizabeth Bennet. Suppose everyone is to some extent. You more than most, Miss Half-English woman whose name is Elizabeth. And you as well, Mr. Takes his wealth for granted. Before I can respond to that, she clears her throat. But this is getting off topic. Seriously, I need to know why you were at the train station. My guard instantly rises. Even though Elizabeth doesn't seem to have any bad intentions, just the mention of the trauma puts me on alert. Why do you need to know? I basically did tell her why. Elizabeth rockets to her feet, her voice low as she glares down at me. Why? Because, depending on your answer, you could be the primary suspect in the recent disappearances. Primary suspect, but how would she know? Why would I was just... Do I need to spell it out? Katsu Kobayashi. He's a policeman, the one that found you in the forest a few days back. Right around the time that they found a body in that same forest. A mutilated body of a student that matched the pattern of disappearances. Well, Katsu's in charge of Shoji Hasegawa's case at the train station. And what does he hear from his primary witness? That you were there. Of all bloody incompetent people, you somehow possess the intelligence and the initiative to flawlessly kidnap and murder 4 to 6 people. I can't tell whether she's insulting me or fighting for my innocence. Not that it matters when she knows so much. How do you... She throws her hands up in the air. Fine. My father is the bloody superintendent of the bloody Isamu Police Department, and Katsu is a family friend. That's why you were all chummy with that cop at the, school fair or whatever it was. Job fair. Career day. Now will you tell me? Stricken speechless by this barrage of revelations. Elizabeth is the daughter of the police superintendent? Come to think of it. Maybe she has superior knowledge of dressing wounds because her dad is the police superintendent. Pieces start falling into place. Elizabeth's atypical outlook on the killings, her systematic behavior during school investigations. She knew how to handle a gun, even just in laser tag. Huh. Something makes sense about her. If you're wondering, no, my father doesn't blab about confidential information. I learned as part of an investigative process that involved... I learned as part of an investigative process that involved Katsu interviewing me. What? Wasn't even thinking about that. Then why are you wasting time? Just tell me what you were doing at the station. Mapping? I told you, I was just helping Rui move. Those are the words I want to say, but I can't. What was I doing? At the train station. I might have just fainted, but when I'm sleeping, when I'm lapsing, I have no clue what I'm doing. Elizabeth's frown flattens into neutral curiosity. Yama. I don't know. It's impossible to tell what's going on. Everything happened so quickly. The deaths. Being drafted as an assistant, then being fired, more deaths, fights, all over the space of what, 9 days since school started? You're just being ridiculous. You either did something or you didn't. Look, just say that you couldn't have had anything to do with Shoji's death. What if I did? Didn't say you did. Is it really that hard? Hard to admit you could be a serial killer without even knowing? Yeah, that's pretty hard. And again, she just thinks I'm joking. What if I don't know? Her expression quiets as she seems to understand. You're not seriously entertaining this idea, are you? For God's sake, Yama, you a murderer? It's a load of rubbish. You can't know that for sure. Oh, yes, I can. Look, it's bloody impossible. Clearly, you're not the actual killer, or you wouldn't be acting this way. Therefore, there's no reason that you would have anything to do with these killings. Stars above, for a rational person, you sure do awful little thinking. Ironically enough, the bite in her tone is comforting. She sounds so confident, like I could never be guilty, like I could never be able to hurt someone. But she doesn't know about my lapses. She doesn't know that I could potentially be a completely different person. Look, you're many things, Yama, but murder is not one of them. You've got to believe that. If you don't, no one will. What if no one already does? Then you got to show them. Show them who you are. Show them what you can do. They'll doubt you, they'll fight you. Maybe your friends will leave you. But you've got to fight back. I have no doubt to any other person. Her speech would be amazing. Oh, I have no doubt that to any other person, her speech would be amazingly inspirational. To any other person, life changes would be made and worldviews would be altered. Fighting back, involving people, doing something. That's what I've been doing for the past week. Uncovering, investigating, taking initiative. And, well, we saw how that turned out. Still, I have to admit that she stirs hope. Even in someone like me. Her words make me want to leap up, to raise my fists, to fight back. I just don't know if it'll make things better or worse. Thanks, Elizabeth. She falters, her eyes widening. What? That... This is the first time you didn't call me Lizzie. Would you prefer that? Not particularly. It simply feels odd. Her eyes drift across mine, slowly, contemplatively. Well, done with your pity party. As close as I can get to done, I suppose, Miss Bennett. Fair enough, Mr. Darcy. After all, I know how you enjoy your pity parties. Ah, yes. You can tell by my acute desire to eat, drink, and dance the night away. Aye, the night is scarcely young. Wait. It's midnight. She leaps away, pointing to my clock in clear horror. Oh, it looks like it. Good God, I've got to get going now. She She hurriedly shoves the medicine back into the cabinet and scrambles to the doorway. I instinctively grab her sleeve. Wait, what's the... Let go, now. She doesn't look like she's going. So I quickly release her. Something dawns on me. Oh. Academy curfew? What? No. I have a permit because of my father's job. Does this curfew even exist, or does everyone just ignore it? Homework? Sleep schedule? No, nothing like that. Shouldn't it be obvious? A girl in a boy's home at a late hour? Oh, look at that expression. Faces. Oh. What? Just that? It's nothing to worry about. I've had plenty of girls over. Rui was one of them. Now, she even knows the key code to my door. But Elizabeth doesn't seem to take this as comforting. In fact, she turns white as a sheet. Plenty of girls. It's fine. People don't care around here. I care. Do you know what this could do to my reputation? Yeah. She paces agitatedly, wringing her hands. Worry stressing me. Look, like I said, it's not a big deal. Guys have girls over all the time. Girls have guys over all the time. She stops in her tracks and stares at me. Oh, as friends. What else would they be doing? You're asking because you don't know? It's generally why people ask questions, yet shut up, you don't. You don't know what sex is? And according to you, girls come over and guys come over and they just study or play games or eat dinner or whatnot. That's exact. Wait, what were you thinking? God, I can't believe we're having this conversation. I love that face. That I guess it's just the way her mouth is. It's just like, it's like, oh my God. She covers her face and rearranges her jacket, quickly opening the door. I'm just going to go now. I'm left flabbergasted, there's that word again, as she slams the door in my face. Can't even get in a word. Well, that was abrupt. I swear I'll never know what's going on inside that head. Oh God. Ha. It probably doesn't mean anything to you, Yama. But I believe in you. Oh, now it's a smile. Before I can make a move, she promptly shuts the door again. This time, I hear the rapid plink of her shoes against the apartment hallway as she strides out of the complex. She believes in me? Of all people, Elizabeth Oshiro believes in me. Well, that's just the irony of life, I suppose. And I can't deny that it's reassuring in the most bizarre way. She's more confident than I am in my own innocence. It feels nice to have someone like that on your side. A fighter, a warrior. Someone who knows you'll tell the... Someone who knows... Someone who you know will tell the truth to your face even if you don't want them to. You can trust her, weirdly enough. I need to take a break. My insides are jumping all over the place. Hurting my stomach. Maybe I need to lay down. Peace.